I'm the People Development Director at Lawton-Jones, and I've been here now for 10 years, just over 10 years,
Wow.
yeah. And my role is really around driving the learning and development strategy, so everything from leadership and development programs, right the way through to our apprenticeship programs as well. All of those areas fall under my remit.
And I'm Ellie Gannon, so my role is one of the Senior Learning and Development Business Partners, so supporting Rosa in driving capability and careers across the organisation.
I think we've been in discussions with Mercury Training probably before then as well, but I think in terms of getting learners on our books, it's probably been about 2 years.
2 years, yeah. I love it. I do. It's really easy, it's really seamless. If we've got any questions or problems, or if we want to talk about learners that are on programme, then it's really easy to either speak to Alan or John or Paul or yourself and get further information if we need to, support with our learners where they need it. It's just a really, from enrolling our learners to them being on programme, it's just seamless, easy. The knowledge, the experience that's shared as well is fantastic.
And I think what's really important for us is, as a large organisation, we work with many different providers in the different apprenticeship subjects, and it's important for us that the providers understand our business, and that's one thing that we find with Mercury Training. They want to understand what we do, how we do business, the different sites we have, the roles that we have. There's that interest to understand who we are as a business, to really make sure that then that's kind of embedded in the apprenticeship as well. As Ellie said, it's around having that seamless service. So from the enrolment stage and kind of those insight sessions and the calls whether somebody wants to do an apprenticeship, right the way through to enrolment, on programme and endpoint assessment. And it's having that constant point of contact as well throughout the apprenticeship. So we know that there's somebody to talk to. We know we're going to get a professional service. We know that we are also going to get the information that we need in a timely manner as well. We're not sitting there waiting. So very responsive, I would say.
So a couple of different, predominantly within security, so very excitingly we've got some of our learners on the new Level 4 security programme, which is really exciting, but right from sort of your Level 2 security up through to your Level 5.
At Lawton-Jones we have a group of learners. We've got 12 learners, haven't we, on the Level 4 programme, so the new apprenticeship. That for us as a business is really exciting, that we're able to get our learners through onto that first cohort, and that's only been really working through Mercury that we're able to get onto that cohort and to work with them. One of the things that I've found really of benefit to us is the insights calls and the information sessions that Mercury have held. It was a few months ago now when we started thinking about the Level 4, and we had a town hall within our security division. So we managed to get time on the town hall where we was able to really showcase and promote the Level 4 apprenticeship, as well as the other apprenticeships as well. But really from that, it generated that excitement and was able to enrol a fairly large cohort on the Level 4 and the other levels as well.
Actually, from, like you said, from the Level 4, it then generated interest because the town hall is for all of our managers. It actually generated interest across the other levels. So those that weren't at the right level for that apprenticeship, it sort of reinvigorated, and we've had a bit of a drive across security for learners wanting to go on to apprenticeships, sort of for your Level 2s and your Level 3s. And with the Level 4, when we really started that conversation right at the beginning, Mercury were with us, sort of supporting us with those conversations and what that journey would look like, and sort of the communication piece that we could do to promote it across the division.
And I think we're really excited for when, I know it's a bit far off now, but for when they go through an EPA, and that we're able to really celebrate their achievement, we're able to recognise their achievement, that they are one of the first cohorts to get that apprenticeship. So yeah, I think we've got a really great group of learners that are enjoying the programme so far as well, gaining a lot from it, especially from the tutors. That's a real positive from Mercury as well, is the expertise, the professionalism, the skills that they're able to bring into the learning for our apprentices to really gain from that as well.
They're really in tune with the learners as well. So they really do know, like John, for example, really knows his learners. So I've had conversations before, we've had somebody that's just started an apprenticeship, and actually right at this beginning when you're sort of really getting into sort of your first sort of modules, we've already started to have a conversation to say, actually, do we need to look at the level 5 for this learner?
Yep.
So again, they really do know their learners. It's a really good communication piece because it's actually, no, is it possible to look at the next level? So it's not, we've just got our learners on, let's get them through program. There's a real commitment to that learner to make sure that actually what we're doing is the right thing for them individually. Can we stretch them any further? Yes, we can. Let's look at let's explore what that would look like.
I think one of the other things just to mention as well is how Mercury have embedded the security skills board, the profession map that's been created. So we have the profession map, and I know that Mercury have embedded that within their learning, within the apprenticeships, that they're able to really promote that and elevate that so that people can see, oh, that's my journey as a security officer. That's the skills, that's the knowledge, that's the behaviours that I need to demonstrate so that they can start seeing their progress and how we move up that profession map as well. So I guess it's the professionalisation that is around Mercury, bringing in things like the profession map as being a real benefit.
It really aligns with that, with creating career progression for individuals. Really aligns with us.
The great thing about the security apprenticeships is that there is a journey, there is a development pathway for security professionals. You can start at the level 2, you've now got the level 3, you've got the level 4, and with Mercury having the level 5, although it's not a security apprenticeship, you've got that contextualisation around security, so it feels like they're on a security apprenticeship. And it just shows that development, that pathway, that when you have somebody that starts on the level 2, it would be such a great news story for somebody to have gone through 2, 3, 4, 5, and to really demonstrate that within the apprenticeship. One of the things that we do when people go through EPA is at that point that we speak to them to say, what's the next steps, and to offer that next step of if they're on the level 2. You know, is the level 3 right for them? Is the role that they're in, is the level 3 suitable as well? We need to make sure obviously they meet the criteria, but it's about showing that pathway for people and that we are investing in people's development.
The membership, absolutely. It sort of created a bit of excitement across the division, knowing that they would have that sort of temporary membership.
And I think it's all around professionalisation, isn't it? That when people are committed to their development and they can see the investment in their development, that they are then themselves part of a membership body. So that has been a real positive.
Yeah, again, incredibly positive. We have had a couple of learners that have transitioned from one provider over to being on programme with yourselves, and the difference that they've experienced has been fantastic. So.
And I think that's one of our challenges as well, is that when we do have to transfer learners over from another provider and over to Mercury, and we've had to do that quite a few times, I think, throughout the duration of apprenticeships. But with Mercury, you're able to pick it up, to really do that skills scan and to understand where that learner is, so that they haven't got a big gap in the programme, so that the learning is seamless and it continues.
And it's also been quite personalised as well. So obviously when you have learners transition over, they're at different stages of their learner journey, or their portfolios are in different places. So it's always been quite a personalised service, rather than we've got this amount of learners that we're transferring over. It's really treated on an individual sort of one-to-one basis, which has been really, really supportive for the learners as well as us as a business. Progress reviews are crucial for a learner being on programme. We need to know quite early on if there's any sort of red flags or any concerns that we might need to be aware of that will affect a learner's time on programme. The progress reviews are crucial for that. So having access to be able to see all of our learners on BUD is really valuable, because we can log on at any time to be able to sort of do a spot check. If we want to, we get reports, and then we have a monthly one-to-one about the learners. So to be able to sort of just talk through any concerns or any learners that might be struggling is really valuable. It's an essential part of a learner's journey. What we have also had in the past as well is if outside of that sort of scheduled review, whether it's a concern from us or from the learner or from the tutor, then we've sort of had more offline conversations, or we've had more specific conversations. And again, those conversations are very easy. It's very open communication, very honest, so we know where the learners are at. So for us, it's been quite seamless. I think we get a monthly report as well, which rates where our learners are at.
I guess it's about early intervention as well, that if we see somebody, slightly falling behind, that we're able to kind of put a plan in place to make sure that we can bring them back on track, and to understand, you know, why is it perhaps that they are falling slightly behind, what support is it that they need to get them back on track with their apprenticeship as well. So progress reviews, the monthly reports are a great way for us to kind of track the apprentices' progress.
If there's anything that anybody is unsure about at any time, again, you know, the communication channels are so open and the responses are so immediate that actually if we've got any concern, we don't know sort of like the right process, we just send an email or get in contact, and I know that I'll get a response pretty quickly as to these are the steps that you need to follow, or this is the process.
Yeah, and I think with safeguarding as well, the paperwork for a new starter in enrolment, we know that safeguarding is listed there. Progress reviews with the tutor, we know that that's part of the check-in as well when it's around talking around safeguarding there. So yeah, we can see that safeguarding is obviously fundamental to the apprenticeship process. Absolutely.
Definitely.
And I think professionalism, being responsive, providing that seamless service is what we've really found with Mercury.
And the experience and the knowledge.